Okay, we are looking at solving linear systems by graphing. So two equations in two variable forms, a linear system of equations, or simply a linear system. A solution of a linear system in two variables is an ordered pair x, y that satisfies both equations. Okay, so this is stuff that you guys will use in real life. If it's like, okay, I know hot dogs are worth this much, or cost this much. Hamburgers cost this much. Hamburger buns cost this much. You know, hot dog buns cost this much, and I have this much money. You have to figure out how many of each you need to get, considering that they don't come in equal packaging and all of that. It's actual real life stuff. So we're going to start right here with this example. So this is a harder example. Actually, we're going to switch to example 2. We're going to start with an easier one, and then we'll go to a harder one. Okay, we're right here at y equals x minus 1. So we're going to start at negative 1.
Wait, what? Did we skip the example 1?
Yeah, and I just said that. Okay. I'm starting at negative 1, and then I go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. I'm going to put mine all the way across on both sides. Usually I just say you have to do just 2 points. But I'm doing this because we don't know where this other line is going to intersect. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and graph the other line. Where is my y-intercept for y equals negative 2x minus 4? Negative 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm going to go down 2 over 1 or up 2 to the left 1. Up 2 to the left 1. And I don't have to keep going here because I see where it intersects, right? So what's that point that it intersected at? Negative, yep. Negative what?
Negative 2.
Nope.
Negative 1.
Negative 1, negative 2, right? List your x first, then your y. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. This does not work unless you put it into slope-intercept form. So you need it into y equals. And I'm going to graph the next couple by hand, and then we'll graph them on the graphing calculator. Okay? So I'm right here. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I get y equals negative 3x minus 2. So I'm going to graph that while I'm at it. I'm going to put a dot at negative 2, and then it's down 1, 2, 3 over 1, or up 1, 2, 3 over 1.
That's a negative 2.
Yeah, I put a dot at negative 2, and then I went down 3 over 1,
Oh, my bad.
or up 3 over 1, or I'm going to go up 3 over negative 1 more. Am I going too fast?
A little bit.
I think graphing takes a long time to do, and I forget how long it takes everybody.
I mean, you get some wrong too, so maybe you can start.
It's true. It's true. No, it's just the truth. It's fine. All right. You know, if he tried to give me shade, I would give it right back. Okay. So y equals negative x plus 2. So I'm going to put my first point on which axis? Y. Those of you who are on your phones should be off right now paying attention to this.
It's just a straight.
So you go down 1, over 1, down 1 to the right 1, or up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1. Oh, there's where it intersects. About graphing that line, Abby? Did you put your first dot at positive 2 on the y-axis? Did you then go up, down 1 to the right 1, or up 1 to the left 1? Remember, it's either stop talking. Negative 1 over 1 or 1 over negative 1. Okay, so they intersect right here, and that point is negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this first one, I put a dot at negative 2, and then I went down 3 over 1, or up 3 over negative 1. Okay. Would you like me to do another one by hand, or do you want to do some now by calculator? Do another one by hand? Okay. No, but you have, if you have, you can actually. So if you have good Wi-Fi, you can actually go to Desmos, and I'm going to write that down right now. Desmos.com. So if you have internet of some kind at home, you can use this. No, not everybody has it, and so you have to do some by hand. But you can do graphing on a graphing calculator in class and find the answer. Okay, so for A, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Please don't talk anymore. Y equals negative 2x plus 13. Okay, for this other one, I'm going to actually solve both first before we do it. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides, and I get negative 2y equals negative 5x plus 1. And then what do I do to get rid of the negative 2 in front of y?
Minus 2y.
Nope, you
Minus.
divide.
That's what I'm listening to that.
Divide. So y equals positive 5/2, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, x minus 1/2. Oh, this one looks horrible. Do we want to graph this one, or do you want to
Skip it.
put this one in the calculator?
Skip it.
I think we should do this one in the calculator. So, we're going to move the calculator over, and I'm going to show you how to do this.
Is that the app or the
Okay.
website?
So, no, this is on your calculator. So, literally push.
I never used to get a website.
Okay, literally push your on button, and you should be here. And we're going to do B, because B says to graph. Then, if see how nothing's showing up down here, so I can't type anything in? I'm just going to hit tab, and it shows up. F of x, remember f(1)x is the same as y. So we're just going to enter the two things on our paper on there. Negative 2x plus 13.
Does it matter what we use estimate?
It doesn't matter what letter you use, but you have to use some letter. And you hit enter, and it graphs it. And then if you hit tab, it comes up to the next one. And we can hit control divide and put 5/2 x minus control divide 1/2. And it graphs it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to literally, if you click on it, a little hand shows up, and you can literally pull it over so we can see. And then we can hit menu, trace. And I'm kind of just showing you guys how to do this one first, and the next one we'll go over slower so you can actually follow a little bit better. And I'm just going to move down until I find its point of intersection, or I can literally hit menu, I think it's analyze graph, and find its intersection. And then I go here
You can also
and here.
do that.
And it literally tells me right here. It literally shows me that my point of intersection is 3,7, and I'm done. So I personally like using the calculator more because I do not have the prettiest handwriting. So I don't want to have to graph it by hand. Okay. Yeah, you can use it on the test just like this. Okay, so if we go back to our paper, we're going to try number 2. So remember, they need to be in y equals form in order to do this. Y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides here. 2y equals negative x plus 9. How do I get y by itself now?
Divide.
Both sides by 2. Make sure you divide everything by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 9/2.
You keep the variable on the other side, you just get rid of y.
Yep. I'm going to add x for this one on both sides, and I get 6y equals x minus 1. Divide everything by 6. Y equals 1/6 x minus 1/6. So these are the two that I'm going to put into my calculator
Is that a
to see what their answers. So we've got y equals negative 1/2 x plus 9/2, and y equals 1/6 x minus 1/6. Okay, you guys ready? We're going to go back to our calculator. I'm going to clear this because I don't want this information here. If you go up and, like you're submitting a quick pull, and then hit B, it clears it all. And then we want to graph again. Remember, if your little f of x thing right here doesn't show up, if you hit tab, it will come. And now I like to hit control divide makes my fraction. Everybody see that? Control divide.
Wait, how do you refresh this?
If you go up like you're submitting a quick pull and hit B. And then I'm going to put negative 1, 2 on the bottom, and then I'm going to put an x. Then I'm going to put add fraction 9/2. Okay, hit enter. A nice graph comes up. Then I'm going to hit tab again. And another thing comes up, so I can put it on there. I'm going to hit control divide again. 1/6 x. It's recording all of everything. Okay. Minus control divide 1/6. Okay. So now I'm going to hit menu. Everybody with me so far, or did I go real too fast? Okay, remember, so if you don't have your equations in yet, hit tab. You should be on a graph. Hit tab and enter your equations in. Who needs help with that? I think you're going to come up with much better answers if you have to do this on your next quiz. You don't even have a calculator.
I was meaning as a root, I was thinking dead ass.
Y equals negative 1/2 x and y equals Christian, you need to leave. Not kidding. Get out of here. If you have not stopped talking since the beginning, you're not leaving.
I can't leave. If I leave, I'm going home. If I leave, I'm going home.
Okay. So, those of you who want to graph this should hopefully be done. We're going to hit menu, 6 to analyze graph, and we're going to find the intersection. So, I'm going to go over on one side of that point of intersection, then go on the other side,
How do you zoom out too?
okay? And so I can move this right here. My answer is 7, 1. Okay? So there's just a few more things I want to tell you before I let you guys work on your homework. So if we have one solution, that's like an intersection like we've been doing. One solution has an intersection. No solution is usually parallel lines. Okay? What do you think infinite solutions would look like?
There's infinite solutions.
What would it look like though?
Just a black paper.
No, it would be a line, and then we would have another line on top of it, exactly over it. So both lines would be exactly on top of each other. Okay. It's like an ugly graph because they're hard to graph. Okay? So, what I'm gonna have you guys do is work on these 3 right now. Once you have your answers, show me, and then I'll give you your homework.
On the back.
The last page.